Grace and peace and good day, everybody. This is Bishop. How are you? I am here today from my home. I wanted to talk to you all for a minute. Just want to cut to the chase. We are going after this property, and I want to tell you why. The Lord spoke about open doors, and the Lord spoke that this property is an open door. Now, let me explain. Okay. God can, at any time and at any time He chooses, direct things in the way that He sees. I believe that God has more for us than 3012 Rice's Lane. I believe that God has much more for us than this property. I believe this property is a test. The pursuit of it is a test. It is letting us know where many of us are in our hearts and in our minds. It is showing us that in order to get to the next level, there's a measure of work that has to be done. Now, that work word, four-letter word, that God gave for us to have understanding of what it really means. Work is not a bad word. Work shows diligence. Work shows your heart. Work shows the ability to go after something that you really want or go after something you really need. We have to pay our gas and electric bill. We go to work. We have to pay car payments. We have to pay rent or mortgage. We have to eat. So we work. We work in order to have the ability to fund our lifestyle. And some of us get up early. Some of us stay to work late. Some of us work more than 5 days a week. Some of us work more than 8 hours a day. But we do what we need to do in order to have the lifestyle we need to have. It's time for life builders to have a lifestyle of ownership. It's time for life builders to take this vacant canvas of 3012 Rice's Lane, if that's where we go. And I keep saying if because God can change things. God could be using Rice's Lane as to head us in a direction and focus and then say, okay, shift right, shift left. Stand still and I'll drop something on you or in your lap. See, God proves us by our diligence and our faithfulness. I want to introduce a word because this morning in my prayer time and in my devotion time to God, I strive every day to spend at least 2 hours a morning in God's presence. I try to do it early enough so the phone won't ring, so I won't have to tend to things regarding my family. It's just me up early, me and God. And as I was in my devotion time and my prayer time, the Lord gave me the understanding and reminded me through Cindy Trim. I was listening to her and she was teaching about first fruit. And she had brought out a revelation that what Cain did was kill his brother from jealousy because Cain refused to do the work that Abel did to offer God more than. Abel's offering was acceptable to God because it just wasn't the minimal. It just wasn't the normal. If you read that text in Genesis about Cain and Abel, and you see how Abel's sacrifice, Abel's first fruit, was a gift of honor to God, and because of Abel's heart and Abel's effort, God had honor to him and did not honor Cain because Cain did not give God the very best. Beloved, first fruit is about honor. Can it be that God is seeing our level of honor to be able to pursue something, trusting Him every step of the way? And as we pursue it, He's strengthening our hearts. You remember the first letter in the acronym of BAP, building our faith, agreeing with God and one another, and then prayer? Could it be that God is really building our faith for something much more than we could ever imagine? I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you this. There is more attached to Rice's Lane than we know. I wish I could tell you everything. There's more possibilities than we know. There's more connection than we know. And I've been seeing this as we've been pressing forward. More has been revealed. That could be Life Builders churches. But this small part of honor and doing the possible must be something that we overcome. I look back over the history of Life Builders Church, and we've had some failures. And I am the pastor. It was on my watch that these failures took place, and I take responsibility, full responsibility. Now, I'm telling you, they weren't all my fault, but the main reason in many cases why endeavors failed in the past was because of lack of participation. People logicized, and that's a word I coined. That's one of my coined words. People logicized their way out of participating. I know that some of you don't agree that this is the right property. Quite frankly, this will be what I say to you, and this may be the first you've heard it. This is not my ideal property at all. I'd rather have something close to the road. This is a third of a mile of a way off the road. I'd rather have more flat land. We would have to do when we build that larger facility, some backfilling. And there's a lot of things, that I would rather see. I'd rather the location not be near other houses, but there's some greater things that we need to say. And I'm going to tell you a few of them because some of you just don't know. The property, since we've been involved with securing it, has gone up in value. Now, many of you that know real estate know that real estate is one of the greatest things you can have to have asset value. The property has increased in value over $100,000 since we started going after it. So we're buying it at $500,000. So it is now worth over $600,000. How I know that? Because I saw the appraisal. The appraised value is over $600,000 and we're buying it for $500,000. So we take possession of it. We have an immediate in the black, $100,000 plus. In addition to that, say we buy this property and what is quote unquote more ideal for all of us comes available. That's asset on our side to be able to either sell, trade, or add to that would help us to get to where we would like to go that we probably couldn't have gone before. This property is valuable, 17.68 acres. In addition to that, some of you may not have heard the good news that the sellers have agreed to pay the survey. They've agreed to do everything I've asked them to do. And the only drawback is that if we don't go to settlement, we would lose that down payment of $5,000. Before that wasn't the issue. Now it is, because the seller has a right to ask for us to be in a posture to do something. And I don't think that's a big risk. I'm banking on God that his will be done and we lose nothing. So I'm asking you to search your heart, lose the excuses for not participating. Some of you have yet to give. Some of you have yet to sow. And I'm not saying this to guilt you or condemn you. I'm just saying this is your church. This is our ministry. We stand corporately accountable to God for what we do. And I don't want it to be said that, like the children of Israel, before they wandered in the book of Numbers, that they got to the border of a bigger blessing and turned back because of their own thoughts of themselves and their lack of doing. I want to encourage you that have not done. And I want to encourage you that have done, that God sees every effort you've made, the sacrifice you've made. And I've been speaking over every seed. I've asked the finance committee to let me know who's giving so we can pray for you 100-fold return. Inside and outside of Life Builders Church, people have sacrificed. And I pray especially for those in Life Builders that have sacrificed. You hear me? Sacrificed and given. I just want to let everybody know I want the best for this church, including everybody that's a part of it, those that have been building and working and doing. Nothing is in vain. But I want us to be on one accord. We're building our faith. We're agreeing with God and agreeing with one another. And we are praying that our part be done. I'm closing, but I want to remind everybody, as we do the possible, God does the impossible. So let's expect God. They've extended settlement for us until the 20th of May. Okay. And there's some ideas that are about to be presented this weekend, maybe before this weekend. Some really easy ideas that can be done. And if all do their part, we'll meet and exceed this goal. We're a little over 40,000 that we've received already. What a wonderful accomplishment. We have about 60,000 left, a little over that, to come to the completion of this phase to acquire. Again, whether it is 3012 Rices Lane or whether it's someplace else, we are now empowered where we weren't before to take possession. I ask you, do your part. Again, those that have given, thank you. I declare and decree 100-fold return in every way, not 30-fold, not 60-fold, 100-fold. You gave, and you gave out of your heart. I declare 100-fold. Those that have not yet, I'm praying for you that you get on board and not let the devil talk you out of this first fruit, this offering, this honor of God. Beloved, bless you. God treats you real good because he loves you. And my prayer is that you have the best of God in everything. Check your heart, do God's work. And when this initiative is put out for this weekend, let's do our best to be a part of it. Love you all so much. God bless.